My story starts in early 2023. It was winter time and I was suffering from some seasonal depression. If you know or have experienced seasonal depression, when you're not getting a whole lot of sunlight, when it's cold, it's cloudy, it's gloomy, some people are more susceptible to feeling some depressive symptoms in that type of weather. So it was early 2023, it was the winter time. I live on the East Coast, Southeast, and not too far south that it was hot, but it was definitely very cold. So I was going through my seasonal depression and I have never really known what to do about it except wait for the spring. I was scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or something like that, and I saw a quote that said something to the effect of, try being depressed while lifting weights. I don't know why that resonated with me. I have had personal trainers in the past. I have worked out before, but at this time I was not working out. So when I saw this quote, I knew how I had been feeling, and I knew I also wasn't in the gym. Try lifting weights while being depressed, or try being depressed while lifting weights. Don't know why it resonated with me, but it did. So I would say the very next day I decided to hit the gym. I have a gym in my apartment complex, so I immediately started with weight training. The goal at the time was not actually to lose weight. I think at this time I was about 215 pounds, and I was feeling okay. I actually wasn't feeling that bad about how I looked or, my actual weight. I just wanted to get into the gym to get my energy better and to improve my mood. I started out with weight training 3 days per week, and I mostly focused on my lower body because I figured that for once in my life, I wanted to try to actually build a booty. It did work. It worked to give me the booty I wanted, mostly. And it also worked to die down a lot of those depressive symptoms that I was feeling for that time of year. I did end up losing weight unintentionally. I think I might have lost maybe 3 to 5 pounds. I honestly don't know. I wasn't getting on a scale at that time, and I will insert some pictures of how I looked at that time. I felt pretty confident. I ended up going to Orlando for my birthday, which was in March. The pictures that you will see are gonna be probably from that trip. I felt pretty good. There were a couple of outfits that I felt like I was still kind of bulging out of, but for the most part, I felt pretty good. I was about 210 pounds now by this time. So I started planning for a Mexico trip that was going to be happening in the spring of 2023. So I'm like, I want to lose a little bit more weight. And I decided to do some body contouring. Now, alongside with the gym and the body contouring, I also decided to this time try to change my diet just a little bit, the usual, removing a lot of processed foods, which I tend to have some success with, or I would say a lot of success with. I ended up losing another 10 pounds before my trip to Mexico. So this left me at about 200 pounds. I think technically I ended up at 199. And I would say in the past 2 to 3 years, this would have to be the moment that I felt the absolute most confident. I wore a bikini for the very first time. I just got into showing my stomach probably within the last few years. I love me a good crop top, but a bikini, no. So this was the first time I ever wore one of those, and I loved it. It was great. I felt really good about myself. My energy was good. My clothes fit amazingly well. I was still lifting weights. Even when I went to Mexico, this was the first time I actually went to a gym while on vacation. Yeah, I did that. So it was going great. I found my groove, I found my rhythm, and I was really doing well. I don't know what happened after Mexico of 2023. That was May or April. I don't know what happened. I got home and I guess I don't know why, but I guess I lost my motivation. I was able to maintain my weight loss for maybe about a month. I'll insert another picture that if I remember, I'll check the date of it to see how long after Mexico it was, but it was another picture where I felt great, looked great, everything was going well. And then it stopped just out of nowhere. I don't remember changing my diet. I know I did because I remember when the weight loss stopped. I remember starting to gain weight back, but this thing that I do is like, whenever I lose a certain amount of weight, right, I'll feel really good about myself. And because I'll feel good, I'll get lazy and I'll stop doing the things that actually work. The diet changes, the exercise, whatever else. So I remember getting back from Mexico and nothing, like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Like, I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't eating right. I guess because I didn't have a specific goal to meet anymore, I just stopped. Within 2 months, I've noticed that the weight was definitely coming back, and it was coming back quickly. My clothes wasn't quite fitting the same. I was bulging more than usual. If I have a picture from there, I'll show that. But I was avoiding the scale. And so I don't have numbers for this particular time. I remember missing one day of the gym and that spiraling into days and weeks of no longer going to the gym and pretty much just really eating whatever I wanted. The more weight I gained, the more discouraged I became. Because I've yo-yo dieted, like I've lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight. I know how to stop my weight gain. I may not know how to jump right back into losing it, or I'll know, but I won't necessarily do what it takes to jump right back into losing it. But whenever I feel my weight getting out of control, I at least know how to stop it. I know the exact diet changes to stop it. For some reason, that did not kick in. I was in denial. I knew I was gaining weight, but I was like, oh, I still look good. I still feel good. I still look good. I still feel good. Even though my clothes weren't fitting the same, I was becoming like a little insecure about the weight gain because I had, I was flexing a little bit in that bikini in Mexico. So at this point, I was no longer posting pictures. I wasn't stepping on the scale. I was just like, I'll get back to it eventually. The summer comes, my boyfriend moves to where I live. We move in together, and the weight just keeps piling on. It just keeps piling on, and it just keeps piling on. And for a while there, I was like, oh, it's happy fat. Even though I was gaining weight before he got here, it really picked up once he got here because we were going out to eat. He loved to make me pancakes in the morning. We were just eating a lot of junk food, and yeah, it was an interesting time. And I'm like, oh, it's happy fat, it's happy fat, it's happy fat. It wasn't happy fat, it was lazy fat. If I had to guess, I gained about 20 pounds in 4 months. And I still didn't do anything about it. Fast forward to Christmas of 2023. I think this is where I hit my rock bottom. There are not many times in my life where I have just completely felt unattractive, didn't like the way I looked, felt just straight up not pretty. And Christmas was probably my rock bottom. I hate those Christmas pictures. Maybe I'll insert it if you see it. Yikes. I did not feel good. I did not feel good about myself, and it wasn't just it wasn't just in an aesthetic way. I physically didn't feel good. I physically didn't feel healthy. Mentally, I didn't feel good. And now it's December going into January again. And you know what that means? Seasonal depression is kicking in again. So there's no gym. There's no eating right. There's no focus. There's no concentration. There are no goals. I just wasn't having it. My birthday comes back around in March, and I don't even take any pictures. I have no pictures of my 28th birthday because I felt like a cow. I hated it. I think I topped out at 242 pounds in somewhere between March and April. I started to get on a scale again because I wanted to get ready for my niece's wedding that was happening in April. I'm like, all right, I got 6 to 8 weeks to at least lose 10, 15 pounds. I don't know if that math is right, but whatever. I wanted to lose some weight for this wedding. It didn't happen. I managed to go to this wedding at my highest weight of 200. I would not get my eating under control. I don't know what it was. Like, moderation was not working for me. Typically in the past, if I want to get my eating under control, I have to remove entire food groups for a period of time. But I convinced myself I didn't have to do that this time. Plus, it was harder considering my boyfriend was not eating the same. He was not trying to eat the same diet I was. So a lot of the times, I was more so eating like him than he would eat like me if I was changing my eating. I went to this wedding at my highest weight of 242 pounds, and I hated it. I said hate a lot in this video. That's because I hated it. But I'll show a picture of me in the dress somewhere here. And to be honest, I really, really love this dress. I just hate the way the pictures, pictures will tell you the truth. You'll look in the mirror and see one thing, but when somebody takes a picture of you that you are not in control of, it'll tell you the truth. And I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with these pictures. But I would say, even though this was my highest weight, I felt good about myself, as far as like, I did feel really beautiful in the dress. So that did a lot to kind of lift my spirits, if you will. After the wedding, I was going back to Mexico. I'm always going somewhere. So that also means I went back to Mexico, now at my highest weight of 242 pounds. Again, I didn't want to take a lot of pictures. Whatever pictures I do have, I'll insert them here. It was hit or miss about how I felt. It was really hard to find clothes that fit. I'm a big Shein shopper. I know fast fashion is a no-no, but I am a big Shein shopper. I buy my clothes online because I can typically find my size. For once, I couldn't find my size. At 242 pounds, I think I was pushing 3X, 4X. I mean, bathing suits, definitely 3X, 4X. Could barely find bathing suits that would fit. Pants were pushing, I think, like a 2X. Shirts, large is tight. I've worn a large most of my life, and now a large is tight. I need like an extra large. Dresses, probably like a 1X, 2X. It was crazy, and it was really disappointing to not be able to find clothes. So that was enough motivation for me to be like, okay, I need to get my shit together. So I go to Mexico, I have a good time. I decided that once I get back home, it is game on. I was ready to hit the ground running. So when I got home, I decided that I was going to completely remove flour from my diet. At the time, I was reading the book Wheat Belly, and it talks about the effects of wheat on the human body and how it causes weight gain and a lot of psychological problems as well. It can affect your mood, and I have removed wheat in the past before to help improve my mood when I'm feeling more on that depressive side, and it, chef's kiss, it definitely has worked for me. But I always incorporate it back into my diet because it's just easier to find foods that are made with flour. So I did that, and I was able to lose about 10 pounds on my own just by doing that in about a month. And after a month, I decided to try to slowly reincorporate the wheat back into my diet. It was around Father's Day. I was taking my dad and my boyfriend out for dinner, so I decided to have some bread, and it was okay. I decided that because I felt so good for the month that I wasn't eating wheat, I didn't want to go too crazy, but I did want to try to incorporate some back into my life, since I wasn't going to be gluten-free or flour-free or wheat-free for the rest of my life. I struggled to get back into the gym at this time. I would start and stop and start and stop. For some reason, I just could not get the momentum and the energy to consistently go. I fluctuated between about 235 to 238 pounds for about a month. Now, at this time, I'm experimenting with my diet, trying removing sugar, adding it back. I lasted about 3 days without sugar. That was terrible. Trying to figure out how much wheat I can still have in my diet while feeling good, still having good energy, and still being able to lose weight. I forgot to mention, around this time, I also went back to body contouring to kind of help motivate me with some quick losses. I didn't lose any actual weight with the body contouring, but I did lose about an inch off my waist, which at least helped me feel better and get into my clothes more comfortably. Now, I had decided that I was interested in liposuction. I did not get it, but I decided I was interested in it, and I wanted to do the research to figure out, what plastic surgeon I wanted to go to and things like that. I was looking at plastic surgeons, and I found one that I was potentially interested in. But when I was looking at their website, I stumbled across a weight loss section. Okay, what is this? And when I went to the weight loss section, it mentioned semaglutide and tirzepatide. Now, I had no idea what that was. I had heard of Ozempic before, but I just wasn't interested enough to actually do the research into it. The social medias made me feel like this was just something that celebrities was doing, and I just didn't have the patience to actually look into it. I didn't think it was for me. But when I looked into semaglutide and tirzepatide, I figured out that semaglutide was the active ingredient in Ozempic, and it sent me down a rabbit hole of research. And the information I found was, I felt so left behind. I was so surprised at the information I had found. I'm like, where was this when I was struggling with my weight for the past year? I was struggling with my eating. Oh, it was around, but I was avoiding the health section of the interconnect because I was in denial about my weight gain. I went down the rabbit hole of Ozempic, and of course, naturally that led me down a rabbit hole of Mounjaro. I'm not gonna lie, I very quickly decided that this is a thing. This is happening. Like, I chose a telehealth company. I did my research. I figured out what other people were doing. I pretty much just made this decision on my own. And the telehealth companies pretty much just do a quick kind of like health history. They decide if you're a good candidate and they send you the medication. So I did my health history. I paid for the medication, and guess what? I took another trip. I went to Vegas. And when I left for Vegas, I was at 235 pounds. So that's the weight that the telehealth company received. When I got back from Vegas after the weekend, I was up to 238. Surprise, surprise. I've been bouncing back and forth between the two. I got back from Vegas and I started my first injection. My starting weight was at 238. So if you're still here, that brings us to where we are now. I am currently at 229 pounds. I'm so happy to not be 242 pounds anymore. I cannot believe I let myself get that heavy. My stumbling down a rabbit hole of, this new section of people figuring out how to lose weight has led me to many different corners of the internet. And I have to say, I agree with a lot of things that some people have said about weight loss, and I disagree with a lot of things that some others have said. For example, that you can be healthy at any size. There's nothing wrong with being fat. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot that's just like, basically the GLP-1s are getting a really, really bad rap. And I mean, whatever. That's why I named my channel, it's vanity, because maybe it is a little vanity. I want to look good. I want to feel good. Insert picture of green bikini. Insert picture of that black dress. Like, I want to look good. I want to feel good. In my last video, I talked about when I did establish care with a primary care physician recently. She was very helpful. She was very friendly. And I let her know that I did my labs with the telehealth company and I was concerned about being pre-diabetic. And she did confirm my numbers. I am considered pre-diabetic. I am 1 percentage point, or would that be 10? I don't know math, but I think pre-diabetic is like 5.7 or 5.7 and I'm 5.8, or it's 5.6 and I'm 5.7. Whatever. I'm like, 1 point over into pre-diabetes. So as I said in a prior video, this weight has to go. It has to go. The downside, I would say, is that I did ultimately find clothes that fit earlier this year, and I didn't get to wear all of them. I have not tried on those clothes again yet. And I think I will. I think I'm going to try them on and record it. I might even try on that wedding dress again and see how it fits. Not that I'm ever going to wear it, but I'm just curious. I've been feeling really good. I've lost about 2 to 3 inches off my waist. I actually did a DEXA scan today. It's a body composition scan. And it has revealed that my body composition is a ball of fat. Like, 229 pounds is where I am as of this video. My goal is to be at 242 pounds by July of next year. That's roughly 48 weeks, I believe, to lose 90 something-ish pounds. And we're gonna do this. I've lost 40 pounds before. I've lost 20 pounds before. I've lost 30 pounds before. It always comes back. This is the most that it has come back. Before my highest weight of 242, my highest weight was about 228. So that means that I lost that 28 pounds and it came back with a motherfucking vengeance. So I'm hoping that this time me sharing my experience will help motivate some others, and in turn those others can help motivate me. Okay, thank you for watching. If you're new, again, please consider liking and subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new videos, because as of right now I don't have a schedule, so I don't know when my next video will be. Thank you for watching. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. Like, subscribe, share the video, all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next update. Bye.